So you know about Alexander the Great, Caesar, the great Genghis Khan? Well, probably. But do you know about Yue Fei? No? Well, then let me tell you about this awesome general who lived in 12th century China and served under the Song dynasty. If you imagine Yue, imagine one of those romantical and stereotypical Chinese warriors right out of The Man with the Iron Fist. In his adolescence, he studied all kinds of weaponry and martial arts. It is said by the time he was 20, he learned the 18 arms of Wushu, which are basically all the Chinese weapons of martial destruction, hand-to-hand combat and horse riding. Legend has it that a Buddhist monk even taught him the arts of Dai Peng Kui Gong, which is one of those mystic East Asian hand-to-hand combat arts. At the age of 19, Yue joined the army of the Song. The Song Empire itself was in a desperate state. Its dynasty had to live through a rough patch in the last couple of decades. They lost a lot of territory to the Jin dynasty, a Manchurian barbarian people which were famous for their cruelty to the civil population. The Han Chinese of the Song were at a desperate time. The emperor was desperately looking for able warriors to defend his country, which Yue fit perfectly. But Yue was quite at a dilemma at this point. His father had died, how is not sure, probably during a huge flood, so Yue wanted to stay with his mother. His loyalty to his empire was unbroken though, and he wanted to fight for his homeland. So his mother, knowing about his struggles, decided for him. He told him to take off his shirt and then tattooed 4 Chinese symbols to his back. These state, "Serve your country, loyally." Now strengthened in his cause, Yue made himself on his way to fight the Jin. Due to his absolutely stunning fighting skills and ability to lead, he quickly rose through the ranks and became the supreme commander for the Song fighting the Jin. In 1122, he was commanded to take back the lost 16 prefectures from the Jin. In his stoic ways, he accepted this challenge, a thing which everyone at the time thought impossible. But he did it. He won every single battle he ever fought in. He was a tough and strong man to his enemies. At one point he even defeated 100,000 enemies with only 500 on his side. But not only was he probably one of the most capable generals in Chinese history, he was also a kind man to his soldiers and the civil population. He protected the conquered population from the fighting and forbade his soldiers any pillaging while moving through enemy territory. He cared for his soldiers deeply, nursed and helped them when they were sick, wounded or in any other trouble. When they died on the battlefield, he would support the families they lost behind. So Yue marched on, fought the Jin and was now marching on their capital, Kaifeng. But as it is so often in those East Asian tales, treachery and greed are not far away. The Jin had captured the old emperor of the Song and held him in Kaifeng. The new emperor, a half-brother of the old one, feared for his legitimacy if the old emperor would have been released. As most of the people at the time, he didn't think that Yue was able to make it. Now, if Yue could capture the capital of the Jin, he could release the old emperor. So the emperor and his advisor Gao Zong commanded Yue to move his army back to Song territory. Yue was furious. In the moment of his greatest victory, the emperor wanted to take it away from him. He told the emperor that he just needed a couple of days and Kaifeng would be his. He sent 12 letters back, and 12 times he got the same command. Still though, Yue was many things, but he never disobeyed an order. He was loyal through and through, so he stalled for 5 days to give the people of the conquered lands time to move back to the peaceful south. Then he too marched south. He was not rewarded for his loyalty. The advisors of the emperor took him and brought him into a jail. He was charged with treason and he and his son were strangled by treacherous advisors. But history granted Yue the last laugh in this matter. In front of his grave in China, they built 3 iron statues of the advisors who murdered Yue. For a long time, tourists and visitors were encouraged to curse and spit at the statues. They were disgraced by history, and Yue would be remembered as one of the greatest heroes in Chinese culture. If you liked this video, please subscribe for more extraordinary stories about the history of humankind.